Just like that, the old Nurse Ferry Bridge is no longer standing. Sky 5 was live over Kentucky Lake as the bridge was demolished about maybe 15 or so minutes ago. Traffic was moved to the new bridge back in April. It's only been open 2 lanes right now, but they're going to have all 4 of those lanes open for traffic today. Now, that original Nurse Ferry Bridge opened to traffic back in 1932.
Wow. All right, and breaking news this morning, tragically out of Florida. It's happened again, another nightclub shooting down there, this time in Fort Myers. The police department says the area around the deadly nightclub shooting has been deemed safe now. The early morning shooting around 12:30 to 1 o'clock this morning at Club Blue killed 2 people and injured as many as 16 others. 3 people have been taken into custody. It was a scheduled event for middle and high schoolers, so there was no alcohol or identification necessary. We're learning that the victims range in age from 12 all the way up to 27. Right now, a motive for that shooting has not been given. Of course, the shooting comes a little more than a month after that deadly nightclub shooting in Orlando. It was the deadliest shooting in modern U.S. history, killing 49 people.
Breaking news here in the mid-state as well. A clerk is recovering after being shot multiple times on the job overnight. Dan Kennedy is at Skyline Medical Center where the victim's being treated. And Dan, how is the victim this morning?
Hey, Amy, just got off the phone with the police chief in Springfield. He says the victim was taken to Skyline late last night with some gunshot wounds, non-life threatening, so he is expected to recover. But we have some surveillance video to show you via Smoky Bar News that shows it was a very scary, tense situation last night inside the corner market at 18th and Main in Springfield. The man was just working the desk when somebody walks in the store with a gun, points it at the store owner, but you see the store owner doesn't hesitate to fight back. They wind up fighting on the ground, and that's when shots were fired. That's when the gun went off, and we're told by the police chief just a moment ago that the clerk was hit in the right thigh, and then he was taken to the hospital. He was able to give a thumbs up and wave at some of his customers as he was loaded onto an ambulance. The scene this morning was clear when we got there. Crime tape is gone, but the search for the suspect continues. That's going on in Springfield right now. All we know is that it's a black male in his early to mid-20s. He had that bandana on his face. If you happen to know who he is, or if this man's already talking to people about what he did last night, Springfield police ask you give their detectives a call, and Crime Stoppers this morning is offering $1,000 in cash for the right information. Reporting live this morning from Skyline, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
Dan, thanks for the update. And more breaking news now down in the Antioch area, southeast Nashville. Another man was shot during an attempted armed robbery there. News Channel 5's Alexandra Cohen is on the scene on this one. And the suspects, 2 teenagers, we're understanding?
Steve, that's right. According to police, they described the suspects as young. There was one man who was in this parking lot just before midnight when he says a couple of suspects approached him, demanded his belongings, and when he said no, that's when they opened fire. This quick sack is in the 2700 block of Murfreesboro Pike. It was closed around midnight when the incident occurred. Police say the victim refused to give the 2 teens his bag, so one of them pulled out a handgun. He was shot twice in the leg. The victim is at Vanderbilt University Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspects ran away from the scene. A worker at the Sonic nearby tells us they heard multiple popping sounds and called 911. Now this quick sack did just open back up, and told a manager will be here around 11, and they're going to look if they have surveillance video. If police give that to us, we'll make sure we update you guys with that description. Reporting live in Antioch, Alexandra Cohen, News Channel 5.
Alexandra, thank you. Well, a 5-year-old little girl will be laid to rest today after a heartbreaking crash in Rutherford County. Yuretsi Gutierrez died after the van that her family was in was hit by a driver who was turning into their lane Thursday. That vehicle rolled off of I-24 several times before crashing into some trees. Yuretsi, pictured right there, was revived at the scene, but unfortunately passed away Friday. She's being remembered as a joyful little girl who loved to make new friends.
We drove here all night and during the morning to be here with her, and we just couldn't make it. So everybody is like taking it really hard. She was just a special little girl, so much pain. She was like so much happiness around her.
So sad. Tennessee Highway Patrol says the driver that struck that van is charged with improper passing, but now may be facing additional charges. Yuretsi will be buried in Franklin this afternoon.
To campaign 2016, Democrats are doing damage control this morning as they prepare to kick off the DNC in Philadelphia today. National Committee Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz announced her resignation yesterday after emails were leaked suggesting the Democratic National Committee favored Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders during the primary race. Wasserman Schultz won't officially step down, though, until after the convention is over. Sanders and First Lady Michelle Obama are set to address the convention today. And Tennessee will be well represented. Nashville Mayor Megan Barry tweeted this picture yesterday as she and members of the state Democratic Party headed north to Philly. We've got more on the convention still ahead, including a live report from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia.